So hi everyone. Maybe other persons will join us later. But so first of all, I would like to tell you that this is registered. So if somebody has a problem with that, you can tell us. And you can introduce yourself as some of you have already done in the chat to explain where you come from and for which organization you're working. So as you know, in the Sinfo project, we're really caring a lot about the work with the activists. I'm Oliviero from Sustainable Communication. We are part of the Sinfo project. We're the Belgian partner. And as you know, the Sinfo project is a European project funded by the Creative Europe program of the European Commission that works in Belgium, Italy, Romania, and Malta. In Belgium with sustainable communication, in Italy with TRC, Teleradio City, in Romania with Context, and in Malta with Repubblica. That aims to support independent and investigative journalism and to improve collaboration and relations between activists, grassroots associations, and civil society organizations in general, and with the journalists and the media. For example, we have already organized a 2-day investigative journalism training course in each country, giving journalists the opportunity to exchange ideas and learn more about the work of activists and organizations. This relationship is sometimes difficult to establish because the rhythms and work are not the same, and the aims can also differ. Money is also a recurring problem. So journalists work under a lot of pressure, often with few resources, while civil society organizations and activists are sometimes simply volunteers doing this in their spare time and not sufficiently supported in their commitment. That's why we thought it was important to organize this webinar. In reality, there are other ways of financing activist work. This is why we wanted to organize this event to present you a few ideas on how you can financially support your commitment, which is essential to our democracies and which could enable you to campaign more comfortably. As you know, to benefit from European fundings, your association has to be recognized officially as a civil society organization. So the first part of the webinar will be mostly about those CSOs. I am therefore delighted to give the floor after me to Fabio Del Vecchio, an expert from ID Consulting, an organization which is also a member of ESCOM, my organization, who is going to present to us an overview of the public funding offered at the European level. But we're also going to speak about non-formal associations and activists. It also exists the possibility of other fundings. And we will, for this, listen to Riccardo Fano from Teleradio City, our Italian partner, about the key self-financing models and crowdfunding, direct fundraising, and other possibilities. So you will also have, after that, the opportunity to ask questions for a few minutes. So without waiting, I give now the floor to Fabio Del Vecchio.
Thank you, Oliviero. Can you see my screen? Not yet. Now? Yeah.
That's okay.
Perfect. Then, thank you very much, Oliviero. And as anticipated, I'm Fabio Del Vecchio, and I'm the managing director of ID Consulting. That is a consulting company that has been providing highly customized services to a wide range of clients, such as private companies, universities, European national association, and public authorities for more than 30 years. And assist its clients on all the aspects of European project design, from the creation of international partnership to project writing and submission to the relevant EU institutions. Then the importance of the relation between European institution and civil society organization. are defined in the two major treaties regulating the European Union institution functioning and founding principles. In the slide, you can find the full text of the article, so you can read carefully if you want. In summary, the two articles are the Article 11 of the Treaty on the European Union that stress the need for the EU to have an open, transparent, and regular dialogue with civil society organizations, for example, when preparing proposals for EU laws. And the European Commission regularly engages with non-governmental organizations through initiatives such as the EU stakeholder dialogue to allow an active participation to the EU policies and EU funding programs definition. And the other article is the Article 15 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the European Union that recognizes civil society's roles in the good governance of the European Union. Probably you already know Erasmus Plus program as a tool for student university mobility. It's actually more than that. The general objective of the Erasmus Plus program is to support through lifelong learning the educational, professional, and personal development of people in education, training, youth, and sport in Europe and beyond, thereby contributing to sustainable growth, quality jobs, and social cohesion, to driving innovation and strengthening European identity and active citizenship. There are major priorities for the Erasmus Plus program that are the inclusion and diversity, for which the program promotes equal opportunities and inclusion across all the activities. It aims is to support the individuals with fewer opportunities by providing resources and ensuring project accessibility. The national agency, that I will explain in the next slide, play a key role in executing inclusion measures, particularly through support and capacity building for the organizations. The inclusion and diversity strategy provide guidelines to overcome barriers such as disabilities, health issues, educational disadvantages, cultural and societal barriers, discrimination, geographical obstacles. Another priorities of the program is the digital transformation, for which the program fosters digital skills necessary for civic engagement and digital literacy across all ages. It supports the creation of digital transformation plans for educational institutions and enhance digital competencies among the public. The other priority is environment and fight against climate change, for which the program contributed to the EU climate goals, in particular the European Green Deal, by embedding sustainability within education and training systems. Erasmus Plus encourage carbon neutral mobility, green skills development, and sustainable practice in all projects. Priority is given to initiatives that promote green behaviors, such as reducing waste and choosing sustainable transports. Last but not least is participation in democratic life, common values, and civic engagement, for which the Erasmus Plus program seeks to increase citizen engagement in democratic life and enhance understanding of the EU values and history. It prioritizes projects that promote social and civic participation, media literacy, and intercultural understanding. The youth participation strategy supports youth engagement in democratic processes by offering tools and guidance to foster involvement in community and EU activities. The program is divided in key action. The key action 1, that is the one related to mobility of individuals. The key action 2, that is for cooperation among organization institution, and this is the key action that could be more interesting for you, for CSOs, because it supports partnership for cooperation, creating alliance among organizations to expand access to the program and support less structured entities, such as small organization and new participant. More in detail, more in particular, there are cooperation partnership that aim to enhance the quality of activities, strengthen network and promote internationalization, small-scale partnership with simpler administrative requirement and also smaller budget that aim to encourage grassroots organization and less experienced participant, making it easier for them to join the program. Innovation partnership that promote strategic cooperation between education, businesses, and research to anticipate future labor market skill needs, fostering innovation in education. Forward-looking projects support revolutionary ideas addressing European priorities, contributing to social cohesion and encouraging social entrepreneurship. At the level of capacity building, Erasmus Plus support international projects that improve the quality of higher education, vocational training, and youth activities, including also sport projects in third countries. Lastly, it supports non-profit sporting events to promote social inclusion and equality. The key action 3, it's related to support to policy development and cooperation, and support the implementation of EU policies with particular focus on dialogue with youth organization, ensuring diverse representation and supporting organization at local and international level. And finally, the Jean Monnet action that support the higher education institution mainly. The European Commission is responsible for overseeing and running the Erasmus Plus program, managing its budget, priorities, and targets. It supervises and coordinates national structure and handles the direct implementation of certain Erasmus Plus action at the European level, such as sport project. And the national agency play a major role in implementing Erasmus Plus through indirect management in EU countries. They handle local promotion, provide information, ensure fair project selection, support applicants, and monitor project. There is one national agency for sure in each member state, and each national agency is responsible for the allocation of funds using the quota allocated to each country. This means that on an international project could be decided in a strategic way in which country the proposal can be submitted, based also on the analysis of the available budget in the relevant countries that are partner in the proposal. The total Erasmus 2025 budget is around 5 billion, and it's distributed across the different headings and described specific program action. The deadline for the proposals for the 2025 are not yet published, will be probably published in more or less 1 month. But in an indicative way, the key action 1 will be generally fall within early 2025. The key action 2 in the first quarter of 2025. The key action 3 more or less in mid 2025. Then the specific deadline will be announced on the Erasmus Plus website, on the funding and tender portals, and on the website of your national agency website. The CHERV programs aims to protect and promote the rights and values enshrined in the EU treaties and the Charter of Fundamental Rights, in particular by supporting civil society organizations active at local, regional, national, and transnational levels. This program seeks to support and develop open, rights-based, democratic, equal, and inclusive society based on the rule of law. That includes an empowered civil society, encouraging people democratic, civic, and social participation, and cultivating the diversity of European society based on EU common values, history, and memory. The CHERV program is based on 4 pillars: equality, rights, and gender equality, to promote rights and non-discrimination, equality, and advancing gender and non-discriminating mainstreaming; citizen engagement and participation, to promote citizen engagement and participation in democratic life of the Union, exchange between citizens of different member states, and raising awareness of the common European history. The Daphne pillar, to fight violence, including gender-based violence and violence against children, and the Union value, to protect and promote the Union values. Civil society organization active at local, regional, national, and transnational level, as well as other stakeholders, can apply to receive funding under this program for initiatives aimed at citizen engagement, equality for all, and the protection and promotion of rights and EU values. For information, here is the schedule of calls due in 2025 in the various trends. As you can see in the slide, the CHERV equal call regarding no discrimination, combating racism, xenophobia, anti-Gypsyism, anti-Black racism, anti-Semitism, anti-Muslim hatred, and the LGBTQIA plus phobia, will be published officially the 12th December 2024. The call will open the 15th of January 2025 and close the 18th June 2025. This call have a budget allocated of 20 millions. Usually, these kind of calls have a minimum budget of more or less 100,000 euro, and there is no maximum budget, but from an analysis of the call that were financed in the last years, the maximum budget is around 500,000 euro per each proposal. Another example is the citizen engagement call that will be published in November, will open in January, and will close in April. And there will be a total budget of 33 millions. Another example, remembrance call that is on topic such as Holocaust, decolonization, democratic transition, EU integration, will have a total budget of 18 millions. Will be published in January, will open in February, and will close in June. And the call on gender-based violence, then the Daphne, have a total budget of 23 millions, will be published in 2 weeks, will open officially in December and will close in April. You can find a guide for applicants for each of these calls in the European Commission website on the participant portal of the European Commission, and also on the specific program website of the European Commission, in order to have more details on the eligible activities, eligible countries, and all specific details to participate in this call for proposals. Another program that is important for CSOs is the Justice Program, that provides funding to support judicial cooperation in civil and criminal matters, such as training to judges and other legal practitioners, and effective access to justice for citizens and businesses. It contributes to the further development of an European area of justice based on the rule of law, including independence and impartiality, on mutual recognition, mutual trust, and judicial cooperation. It is strengthening democracy, rule of law, and fundamental rights. The Justice Program is based on 3 main priorities: judicial cooperation in civil and criminal matters. Project in this area aims to support collaboration between judicial systems, promoting the rule of law and judicial impartiality, judicial training, and effective access to justice, aimed at ensuring equitable access to justice for all. This area focuses on improving both civil and criminal procedures, supporting victim rights, and safeguarding the procedural rights of suspects. This program, and especially the 3rd priority, could be interesting for those CSOs that can or already actively cooperate with the judicial system and related actors to combat organized crime and protect victims. Also in this slide, we have an overview of the call for proposal for the Justice Program for the year 2025. For example, for the judicial cooperation call, it will be published in November, will open in December, and close indicative in April, with a total budget of 4.7 million euro. And also for the judicial training call, November, December, and March as dates, and 4 million of total budget. As you can see in this program, there are also some calls that are called operating grant to framework partners. And operating grants are part of the funding. That means that the CSOs can receive funding to support the functioning for the implementation of a strategy that is agreed with the European Commission. Then for operating grants, for the normal call for proposal, it's a reimbursement for the activities that are developed during the overall duration of the project. Here, for operating grants, could be also the day-by-day activities and work, then the functioning in its all of the organization. The European Commission Directorate General for European Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid Operation, then DG ECHO, works with about 200 partners organizations to provide humanitarian assistance throughout the world. Humanitarian partners are European humanitarian non-governmental organization, international organization, as well as specialized agencies from member states. The EU has developed increasingly close working relationship with its partner at the level of both policy issues and management of humanitarian operation. And the relationship between DG ECHO and its non-governmental partners is governed by the EU Humanitarian Partnership certificates that you can see here on the right of the slide. It is awarded to organizations that, as a result of a positive assessment of their partnership application, are considered suitable to apply for EU funding for the implementation of humanitarian aid action. The certificate identifies the basic principle and obligation that the certified organization commits to and set the minimum standard for the preparation and implementation of humanitarian actions. Then once that NGO CSO is awarded the partnership certificate, it may submit a request to DG ECHO funding. If it is successful, the NGO CSO will sign a grant agreement where all relevant aspects of the humanitarian action are defined. Then it's possible to check which are the eligible criteria, the activities to be developed under this partnership, and in case you will choose to take this way, it could be possible to check this possibility of direct cooperation with the DG. One of the bigger program of the European Commission is the Horizon Europe program, that is the research and innovation program. And it is implemented through a series of work programs for each thematic, and it is divided in cluster. The work programs set out the funding opportunities for research innovation activities through thematic calls for proposal and topics. In the latest research innovation framework program, the European Commission has aimed to fund a project that have a real impact on the life of European citizens, both in the selection of research areas and in the configuration of partnership eligible to submit the project proposals. In general, the funding take the form of expenses reimbursement for project activities in the form of grants. Normally, for the CSOs, these reimbursement are the 100%. Then there is no co-financing requested to the CSOs and not-for-profit organization. The research and innovation program is renewed every 7 years. The current program covered then from 2021 to 2027, but the strategies and negotiations for the definition of the new program 2021 and 2034 have already started. With the appointment of the new European Commission, whose the commissioners operate starting from December 2024, January 2025, and also with the appointment of a specific expert group appointed by the European Commission that is composed by experts from research centers and universities that are working on the evaluation of this research program and that are giving some suggestion, we can say, how for the writing of the new research and innovation program for the next 7 years. The budget earmarked for this 7 years period amount to 93.5 billion, distributed over the various thematic clusters. Project partnership for participation in research and innovation project must include the participation of at least 3 organizations from 3 different member states. And according to bilateral agreement, participation in project often also open to no EU countries, but is not mandatory as in the case of partner for member states. Projects are selected for funding through annual calls for participants on 6 main thematic areas that are health, culture, creative and inclusive society, civil security for society, digital industry and space, climate, energy and mobility, and food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture and environment. We will focus now on culture, creativity and inclusive society and civil security for society. Then the cluster 2, that is culture, creativity and inclusive society, aims to strengthen European democratic values, including rule of law and fundamental rights, safeguarding EU cultural heritage and promoting socio-economic transformation that contribute to inclusion and growth. The area of intervention are democracy, cultural heritage, and social and economic transformation. And each of these 3 focus areas is divided into a series of sub-themes, each characterized by a series of calls. In particular, this cluster aims to meet EU goals and priorities on enhancing democratic governance and citizen participation, on the safeguarding and promotion of cultural heritage, and to respond to and shape multifaceted social, economical, technological, and cultural transformation. This cluster mobilize multidisciplinary expertise of European social science and humanities for understanding fundamental contemporary transformations of society, economy, politics, and culture. And it aims to provide evidence-based policy option for a socially just and inclusive European green and digital transition and recovery. And the EU is strongly committed to the Sustainable Development Goals, many of which have an important impact on culture, creativity, and social society, as you can see in this slide. Then we now focus on the cluster 3, that is related to civil security for society. This cluster answers to the challenges arising from persistent security threats, including cybercrime, as well as natural and man-made disasters. Research in these clusters support the following policies: fighting crime and terrorism, including organized crime and cybercrime, border management, resilient infrastructures, cybersecurity, and disaster-resilient society incidents, such as climate-related risk and extreme events, geological disasters like earthquakes and pandemics. It supports the implementation of the agenda and strategies on topics such as counterterrorism, combat trafficking in human beings, fight against child sexual abuse, fight drug trafficking and organized crime, disaster risk reduction, climate adaptation. In this cluster, it is particularly important that projects take into account the human factors and the societal context, and that ensure the respect of fundamental rights, including privacy and protection of personal data. Citizens and communities are strongly encouraged to participate, for example, in assessing the societal impact and security technologies to improve the quality of results and to build public trust. Social sciences and humanities and social innovation need to better integrated into the security research. And social innovation should also be considered, notably because new tools, ideas, and methods leads to active citizen engagement and as driver of social change and social ownership. This work program comprises the 6 destinations that you can see in the slide. And to assure the real impact of the results of the research innovation project, one of the policies and funds linked to this cluster is the cohesion policy, in particular through the European Regional Development Fund, notably managing disaster risk, adapting to climate change, protecting public space and utilities, and cybersecurity, as well as interregional cooperation on these issues. Then, in March 2024, the Commission has adopted the second strategic plan for Horizon Europe. The plan set out 3 key strategic orientation for EU research innovation funding for the last 3 years of the program. That is green transition, digital transition, and a more resilient, competitive, inclusive, and democratic Europe. A novelty is the strategy plan introduced the new European Bauhaus facility. The new European Bauhaus is a pioneering movement that brings citizens, municipalities, experts, businesses, universities, and institutions together to reimagine and jointly bring about sustainable, inclusive living in Europe and beyond. The new strategic plan has been co-created by the European Commission, European Parliament, the Council, and more than 2,000 stakeholders and citizens who have contributed at various stages on the strategic planning. That's why it's important that also associations participate in an active way to the definition of policies and programs, and then participate to European framework. If you are interested in call for proposal in Horizon Europe program for the 2025, you can contact us more or less at the end of the year, because the new work programs 2025-2027 will be published in 1 month or 2 months maximum. Then another program is the European Social Fund Plus, that is composed of 2 strands. The European Social Fund Plus itself strand under shared management, meaning that support under the ESF Plus is mainly managed by the member state, with the Commission playing a supervisory role, and the EASI strand, Employment and Social Innovation strand, implemented under direct and indirect management. The ESF Plus itself is the European Union's main instrument for investing in people and supporting the implementation of the European Pillar of Social Rights. It is an instrument to provide an important contribution to the EU employment, social, education, and skill policies, including structural reforms in this area. This trend aims to support member states and regions to achieve high employment level, fair social protection, and a skilled and resilient workforce ready for the future world of work, as well as inclusive and cohesive societies aiming to eradicate poverty and delivering on the principle set out in the European Pillar of Social Rights. The employment and social innovation, the EASI strand, follow the same policy objective of the first strand. as main framework. The ASI is centered on the following main policy priorities: employment and skill, labor markets and labor mobility, social protection and active inclusion, and working condition. The ASI annual work program outline a robust framework of financial support to foster social inclusion, employment, and innovation. The program includes a various type of funding mechanism, notably the direct grants, call for proposal, financial instrument, and transnational cooperation project. Direct grants support specific initiatives, such as events organized by the Council presidency, which bring together stakeholders to advance priorities in social and employment policies. The call for proposal under the ASI strand present a valuable opportunity for European CSOs and networks active in areas with like social enterprise finance and microfinance. These calls aim to strengthen the work of civil society organizations by enabling annual operational support to social networks that promote inclusion and fight poverty across local, national, and EU levels. Additionally, social innovation call for proposal encourage the development of tools to enhance impact investments, fostering transparency and market performance. The program priority further includes a procurement contract that enable research, data collection, and knowledge sharing across member states in critical areas like social protection, labor mobility, and safe working conditions. Also, in this case, the program 2025 is not yet published. Then, if you are interested in, you can contact us in the next month. Then, due to time constraint and the variety of countries, we cannot analyze the public fund for each country at national level, but I will give you an example for the Belgium. In Belgium, the CSOs can access a range of funding opportunities through both foundation and public sector resources, European and national. This funding could be, for example, call for proposal from foundation, public procurement, and public grants and subsidies. The public grants or the subsidies are a key form of financial support offered by federal communities like language communities, at regional and municipal authorities to promote activities of general interest. Several public entities, including local municipalities, the French Community Commission, that is here in Belgium is the COCOF, the Wallonia-Brussels Federation, the federal government, provide grants to assist associations working on causes of public benefit. For example, the Brussels region, through its Brussels Economy and Employment Administration, also offers subsidies to not-for-profit organizations that meet specific eligibility requirements, such as operating with supported sectors or demonstrating economic impact. Through public grants are beneficial, not-for-profit are encouraged to use these funds as a complement to self-financing effort that will be explained by Riccardo Fano of TRC after my presentation. Then thank you very much for your attention. If you want any further information, here is my email and you can contact me, and there will be, as anticipated by Olivero, a space for the question if you have any. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Fabio. And I think that, yes, if you have questions, you can ask it after the presentation of Riccardo. Riccardo Fano is already there. I see him. So, Riccardo, if you hear us, that's your moment to present us.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Can I share my videos, my presentation?
We can see it. Thank you, Riccardo.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity for this short speech. I would like to talk about fundraising opportunity for the civil society organization, and in particular, I would like to introduce a guide for a crowdfunding campaign. Just a short premises. We don't have too much time about how to build up a crowdfunding campaign, but I hope to give you some key elements that will allow you to create by yourself a crowdfunding campaign, and the motivation why choose a crowdfunding instead of other form of fundraising. Because fundraising activity may include a different form of fundraising. Fundraising for a civil society organization, depending on the goals, the audience, and the resources available for the civil society organization, and for the main goal that you want to develop and you want to interact with. Each form of fundraising requires a tailored approach to engage donors effectively and align with the organization's mission. This means that it's very important to take in mind the mission of your organization, and in particular when you work in networking with other civil society organizations, to identify mission and goals of this new partnership. The Sinfo project, the opportunity given by this partnership is a crucial first step to start thinking about a common mission, a common vision of what we want to engage new donors and new beggars. We can have a general review about the common form of fundraising. Maybe you, in your daily life, you have attended or you have been engaged in different form of fundraising, but maybe you never had the idea that it is a form of fundraising. We can start talking about individual donations, for example, direct donations and monthly giving programs. Monthly giving programs is a very important form of fundraising for big NGOs, for example. In practical, you give an amount, a little amount, 10 euros, 15 euros, 20 euros, or 50 euros, I don't know, but this amount is given monthly. This led to the civil society organization to a planification of the revenue income that can be used for a specific for the mission of the civil society organization. Other form of fundraising may include corporate partnership and sponsorship. Corporate this is a form of fundraising that is more commercial, we can say. For example, business provide funding in exchange for brand exposure or involvement in the organization's event, or cause related. A company and a civil society organization partner to raise funds through product sales with a percentage going to the organization. is obviously, as we discussed before, grant funding grants, public grants, international or European grants. It's important for the way in which the civil society organization to underline the importance of foundation grants, because often these foundation act at territorial level in a well-defined area that could understand better the needs of the community we are working with. So even if you are a small civil society organization, you may have the opportunity to submit for a grant from a foundation. Another form is events-based fundraising. Maybe I can suppose that all of you, all the civil society organizations participating at this meeting have had during their life event-based fundraising, for example, a concert for a specific cause or a social dinner or specific events that will let you to promote and to finance a specific cause. The last one are digital and online fundraising schemes that include crowdfunding, peer-to-peer fundraising, and social media campaigning. What is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is a method of fundraising where individuals or organizations raise small amounts of money from a large number of people, usually through online platforms. So now we have three key elements that are characteristic of a crowdfunding campaign. The first one that is that the amount that we are looking for is a small amount. We are not talking about a big amount that let your organization to go through your ordinary activity. The second element is a large number of people. It means that crowdfunding led to your organization to enter in contact with a large number of potential donors and a large number of stakeholders. And after we will see how important is the interaction with our stakeholders and how important is the stakeholder analysis that you have had during the project life. The third element is the online platform, and then we will see many different forms of online platform that host crowdfunding campaign. Crowdfunding allows people to support project, causes, or business by contributing a relatively small amount that collectively add up a substantial funding. So when we talk crowdfunding, we are talking about a small amount that lets you to focus your attention and your activity in a short period, so to satisfy the cause you are proposing for. How crowdfunding works? There are many common characteristics that are specific for all crowdfunding campaigns. The first one is the campaign creation. The fundraising creates a campaign setting a specific financial goal, timeline, detailing the purpose and the impact of the funds. It means that crowdfunding is we can't use the same crowdfunding campaign for a large period or the same crowdfunding campaign repeated several times during the years. But a specific crowdfunding campaign is specific for a purpose, many specific campaign. Another element that characteristic the crowdfunding is the online platform. All the crowdfunding works online. There are several platforms that host crowdfunding campaign: GoFundMe, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, pay attention to study in deep the difference between these platforms, because there are platforms that are more focused on business or business oriented or startup oriented. In this platform, you can have also bank or financial entities that will support the born of a new business, a new startup. But there are also specific platforms that are specific for civil society organization, and this is an opportunity to understand, because the platform itself is a community of donors that are interested in your activity, but may be interested also in other projects proposed by people and organizations from all over the world. Third element is donor engagement. Donors contribute through the platform, often in exchange for rewards, and rewards are a very funny way to stimulate engagement and stimulate participation of your donors. The last one is social sharing. So it's important to create a campaign before the launch of the campaign to prepare many different social and digital elements that allow you to create attention, to take attention from your audience and to connect with the audience. These are a few steps necessary to create a crowdfunding campaign. Okay, as we said before, it's very important, first of all, to define the goal and the purpose of your campaign. Creating a successful crowdfunding campaign involves several key steps, from planning and platform selection to promotion and follow-up. You have to keep in mind all these steps and to keep in mind how your campaign will regulate you and will go along a short time you define your campaign. It is important to research crowdfunding platform. It's important also for an economical aspect, because it's important to consider that each platform take a short amount of your campaign for their work, their hosting service. So this is the first element that you have to consider when you are looking for new financial resources to finance your project, because a part of this amount that you are collecting will be given to the online platform. But you have to choose the platform also in keeping in mind the audience that this platform would reach. For example, a platform in Italy that is very used, that is called Produzioni dal Basso. It's very specific for the Italian audience, but it's very performative when you interact with donors, potential donors. But it's very difficult that campaign launch in this platform could reach a European audience. Third one is identify and understand target audience. As we said before, probably during the beginning of this project, you have already developed a stakeholder map and stakeholder analysis. It is important to start from this analysis to understand your audience and to define specific means to interact, to engage with specific and segmented audience. Then set up a realistic budget and timeline. Your audience, your public must to trust in you. So it is important that the money, even if it's a small amount of 10 euros of donation, will not be wasted, but will be promptly used only for the specific cause that I want to finance. These actions are all actions that we have to perform before the launch the campaign, as well as to create a compelling story and campaign message to connect with potential bakers. Bakers is a form to name donors in the crowdfunding community. Create a strong narrative that explains the project purpose, impact, and why people should support it. Personal, relatable stories tend to resonate more, helping potential backers connect with the cause. Using engaging visual and written content to attract support. This means that before the launch of the campaign, you have to prepare a number of short video message from testimonials to interview key speakers or key testimonials of your campaign, and collect all these materials, to collect images and so on, so you will have the opportunity to feed your campaign during the short period that your campaign is in activity. Another element is to design rewards, if applicable. Not always rewards are applicable. It means that you don't have to waste money to buy rewards that you will give to your donors. This is a nonsense. But, for example, in a crowdfunding campaign that born in a community space or in a suburb of a cities, many people could give the support to your campaign, for example, giving free samples or free commercial discount or a free craft works. But these are free, and it means that you will give it to your audience if your donors will give you a specific amount of money. Then develop a strategy for promoting and reaching out the potential donors. Now we finally arrive to the launch of the campaign. Once everything is prepared, launch the campaign on your chosen platform. Pay attention, because timing can be crucial. Consider to launch your campaign when your audience is most likely to be engaged. For example, at the beginning of the month, or around the paydays, or according to the needs, according to the attitudes of the audience that you previously studied. You intend to launch the campaign in a symbolic day or in a specific day that is with a nice value for your community and your audience. Launch the campaign, it means engage and update your supporters regularly. So we have the gallery of video we created before that we can post regularly, one per day, one every week. Provide regular updates to supporters, because your campaign is starting, so you have to explain to your donors or your potential donors, to your audience, how your campaign is going on. And quickly in responding to questions and feedback. When the campaign is finished, because as we said, the campaign will go along a short period and a defined period with a starting date and a deadline, you remember to thank your bakers and deliver rewards as promised, and continue to provide updates on the project progress, because you collect money that you have all the necessary information, resources to start with the project that you propose to be financed. These are few steps to create a crowdfunding campaign. Obviously, you can find on the web or talking with other organizations more specific detail. I give you my contact to keep in touch for suggestion, recommendation, or to discuss about the possibility to launch a new campaign. So I'm sorry because this is a very short guide, I can understand, but I hope that I gave you some information in general that will let you to create your campaign. The last one, I don't know if I have a few seconds more. I would like
Yes,
to...
of course.
Okay, thank you. These are 3 examples of crowdfunding campaign. I choose 3 different examples to let you understand the potentialities of crowdfunding campaign, because as we said before, we have a short amount, small amount, but a large number of donors. For example, the first example is One Seed Playground, a small playground in a village in Great Britain, where all the community collect money to create a playground, to create a playground in a community space. So we know that is not a big amount to create a playground, but we have the involvement of a large number of donors, because all the community have been involved in the project and engaged in the project mission. The second one is Tilindula, that is Memories of an Invisible Woman, is a theatrical project that narrates the life of an intersex woman. This example is symbolic because born for a specific project that is a theater project. The third one is Twist Pop-Up Market, that is very different from the previous example, but I would like to introduce the opportunity of crowdfunding to launch many social enterprises services, and in particular Twist Pop-Up Market. It was a neglected commercial area with empty shops, and this association collect money to launch new social innovation business and to support innovators to launch business in these empty shops. The last one, but it is not an example of crowdfunding, but I would like to introduce the European Social Innovation Competition. That is a yearly competition launched by the European Commission that put together innovators in social innovators from all over the Europe to cooperate together with to satisfy the challenge launched at the European level. It's not a big amount, but the important is that you have the space to interact with your with other civil society organizations, with other innovators, and proposing a new solution for a common social challenge. I give you the web link, so you have the opportunity to visit the challenge of this year. In 2023, that is the last social innovation competition that I participated for, regarding the energy poverty. That is a topic that involve all Europe, especially after the crisis, the energetic crisis, but it means that you have to interact with your peers to find an innovative solution. And this is a good exercise of cooperation and innovation at the same time. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I'm at your disposal for any questions and remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Riccardo. I don't know if somebody has a question in the audience for Fabio or Riccardo about the 2 presentations that we just seen. If you have a question, you can raise your hand with the option. Giovanni Marenda, we listen to you. I don't know if that's, yeah, that's Giovanni. Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question for Fabio. Because in the presentation of the seminar, it was written that also the European funds are subjected to fluctuations, like maybe political fluctuations or like moments in which the European Commission is more willing to fund some kind of projects, moment in which it's more willing to fund some other kind of projects, or I mean, this was my interpretation, and I wanted to ask something, like if you can say something more about this, like if you have examples or if this is the case, like if there are kind of trends or moments in which to push on something or something else. Thank you.
Yeah, there are several levels we can say on this point. Then, regarding, for example, the work program for Erasmus 2025 or the research innovation program that is 2025 to 2027, it's, we can say, a little bit late to discuss or to go into the discussion with the European institution in order to define some priorities or to stress some priorities for the new programs. As I was saying, for example, there are already some discussions and there are already some negotiation for the new 7 years research innovation program for the 2028-2034. And also in this case, there is already an expert group that was established. There are some members from research institutions, universities that will work on it. Then, if it's important to anticipate as soon as possible each activities that a CSOs or an organization want to do with the European institution. Before it's the anticipate the most is the most important way in order to be able to discuss with the European Parliament, to discuss with the Council, to discuss with the European Commission in order not to be late. Then there are some funds that are allocated in case of crisis or in case of risks. Then this is decided by the European Commission, like fund for the war in Ukraine and these things is nothing that it cannot be decided by organization or discussed by CSOs. Is this that you mean, Giovanni, or there was also something else?
No, yeah, thank you for the answer.
Is there another question, maybe from Fabio, or for Riccardo? No, everything is extremely clear. I hope there was enlightening and very useful presentations for all of us. Thank you again, Riccardo and Fabio, and thank you to take part of this webinar, which we hope also that you had plenty of ideas to improve your working conditions. If you haven't already done so, you can sign up our Sinfo newsletter on the website, sinfoproject.eu. I'm going to write it in the chat. The next Sinfo newsletter will be sent the 25th of November. And the participation of the CSOs at our event and our project is extremely important for us. You can also download a special digital handbook for CSOs that we have created to improve the collaboration between journalists and CSOs. We have also an online platform on which you can get in touch with journalists. And journalists that we have trained a few weeks ago are now submitting their investigative projects for possible funding for the Sinfo Prize. And some of them are still looking for a civil society organization with which they can collaborate. So that's a good idea to register on the platform to maybe meet journalists looking for somebody as you and a CSO as you. And the next stages of the project will be also the launch of our No Democracy Without Journalism campaign, an organization of a public debate about the future of investigative journalism in Europe at the Sherwood Festival in Padova in Italy. So I wish you an amazing Wednesday evening, and we hope to see you soon, everyone. Bye.